And hello viewers and welcome to round 5 of the MSR Super V8 League here at, if I can get the name, if it'll load, here at TARUMA International. As always, joined by WMDR Martin.
Greetings.
And yeah, you join us over 5 minutes into qualifying, sadly, due to some technical issues. And yeah, here at what is going to be quite a dark race, 2 dark races in fact, hit at this extremely windy circuit. As you can see on the track map on the left, there are absolutely no 90-degree corners, and basically all of the corners are extremely flowing. So whether that's going to reduce the chance of overtaking, as there's a I'm not the only one who saw that stop sign above the track, but
yeah, it's same on my screen, and I think that Gillish has mixed up his forward and backwards just like you mixed up your left and right a second ago when referring to the track map. But yeah, welcome guys. Stream is back up and running again, and it is a very short and windy track. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if someone at some point sets a sub 1 minute lap with some good slipstream.
yeah, exactly. So maybe, who knows, some teammates might help each other out. This pit lane extremely weird, I must admit. The curbing basically is the pit exit line. We're watching with Gillis, who has got the second fastest lap. Actually, does he have the first fastest lap? For me, Max has got a 0-0, so I don't know if that's entirely correct.
Max for me is currently in P11 with a 101.645. So yeah, that puts him 8/10 off of pole.
Yeah, incredibly close. So just for those watching, if I can actually just magically make him disappear using my mouse. So second place is actually first on my screen, and Max is in fact in 11th. So Gillis currently with the fastest lap time. Extremely close behind him is Matt's VR 46, and he's gonna be maybe trying. Is that? Oh, bad, as we get a bad camera.
Oh, that's very strange because on my screen we have a good camera, so I'm not sure what happened there. Hold on, I'm quickly gonna try and switch back. What's that done? There we go. Okay, now you've got the same camera as me. That was really weird, and now I've got an ad up. Oh, wonderful. I was gonna ask you though, since it's gonna be a dark race, as you mentioned, who do you think's gonna be the dark horse in this dark race?
Well, I mean, the obvious answer, I think, is going to be Matt. I mean, his pace all season has been none other than miracles. And I think he's right now been looking like Max Verstappen and absolutely unstoppable. But I mean... So you're saying he's kind of like Verstappen in the sense that he might get beaten in qualifying, but he's going to trounce the rest in the race? Yeah, I mean, his pace has been absolutely quick. And I think the only person who I have actually seen that is able to keep him behind so far is in pre-season, finding off the car ahead of him is Gillis Homan. But I mean, Mats has passed him once or twice over this season, but in that pre-season race I remember him just absolutely defending so well against Mats. And whether this potential pole position will allow him to do that is all to be seen and understood.
Well, one thing's for sure, he's got a lot of pressure on those shoulders. He's currently on course to potentially win his very first season over here at MSR, which would be monumental for him. He's always had the pace, but never quite had the consistency to stay up there, and this season he is doing just that. And he's also in contention for a championship in some other leagues as well, so he's currently fighting multiple title battles.
Wow. Someone that I also have to mention is well, for us it's 4th place, but for the actual standing it is 3rd place, is Necron. It's how that's said. I know I've raced with him a couple times myself, and I believe he's a reserve driver right now for who is he reserving for? I mean, I don't see a Jedlin on track, so maybe reserving for Jedlin, but I know from experience that Necron is an extremely quick driver, and if he brings some pace as he goes very sideways, then this would be very interesting for some of the other drivers, being beaten by a driver who hasn't raced with us and is also subbing for someone. So that will be that would be quite an entrance into the league.
I mean, another thing I want to mention as well is I wasn't looking too much at practice, but one thing that I did notice is that the entire top 10 was pretty much within 4 to 5 tenths of P1, which is currently not really the case. So I'm guessing that with a lot of practice, people can kind of get those good times, but in qualifying, you've only got a couple of minutes to set your good laps, and it seems like not everyone's able to do that on the first or second try.
Yeah, and this track, I mean, with the conditions as well, as the sun is very low and practically almost gone, the track temperature compared to the likes of especially last race, where the track temperature was extremely high at Bathurst, it's going to be, I think, very close to the opposite. And I think maybe tyres might be a lot cooler. Maybe drivers might have to work them twice as hard to put in some good lap times.
I mean, they've definitely got enough corners and opponents to go around to heat up those tires. One thing that I'm also noticing, though, is typically when you're at a short track like this, you see a lot of people setting identical laps. There is not a single person who set an identical lap to someone else, at least to my knowledge so far.
I mean, Necron and Cuckoo are extremely close, only 2 milliseconds separating them. That's extremely close, but yeah, you're right. No identical lap times. Very close to identical lap times, but not close enough.
Also, can I just give Cuckoo a shout out for a second? In P4 at the moment, 3 tenths off a pole, and we've got Keza, a championship contender, stuck in P10, seemingly on pace because he was around that position in practice as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, from hearing it, Ultimate Case has taken the Fennec and Trouble route with no practice until official practice. So whether we'll see some raw pace get better and better, we'll see, as Matt's still in that second place. And a lot of traffic in front of him, 4 cars in front of him, and whether he's on his hot lap now, as he was 6 seconds down, so I'm guessing not, this traffic could very much deter him from getting that pole position.
Oh, don't do a dangerous rejoin. That was very, very close, and I do wonder how much the dirty air might be affecting the cornering, because he is looking for milliseconds at the moment, so he doesn't want any of that. But maybe the slipstream able to cancel that out. Not on this lap, though. He's 4 tenths off. He's only got 1 lap left after this one, so it's going to be very tight at the end of this session. Also, Nismo, I think it might be time for us to retire because we have lost all of our viewers. We're down to just 2 people now.
Hopefully they'll be back. I know a lot of them are, in fact, qualifying as we speak. But and what and yeah, of course, one of them is also car lover. So
it's gotta be just me and Car Lover then, because I haven't got the stream open on my other screen. Thanks for joining us, Car Lover. You're our biggest fan.
Yeah.
All right, starting on the final lap, Gillish has improved by 5 milliseconds. Is that going to be enough to keep Mats behind? He's got 1 last attempt.
Yeah, Mats is going to be wanting to push in. Can I get a better camera? Oh
no, I was just quickly checking to see who that car ahead was, but it was not who I thought it was.
No,
and Gillish is in the pits now, so he is done and dusted for this qualifying session.
Yeah, Mats, 3 and a bit milliseconds.
Oh, someone spun ahead of Mats.
Luckily not getting in his way, but he's 3.5 tenths down on his lap time, and he's going to need to make it all up in these last couple sectors, which is extremely unlikely for how quick this top half of the field is. He's come around the final couple bends into the final corner going now. Is he going to be able to improve?
He's 2 tenths down. It's not looking good.
Coming out the corner, taking all of the track as he can, and across the line. Where does it put him?
He stays P2, does not improve on that lap, and that is the end of qualifying for Mats. So quickly going to check Max. Does he improve? It does not look like it. Richie Bug's still on track, although that looks like it may be AI. I think we're just waiting for one more person to finish off their lap.
Yeah,
there we go.
So that gives us the grid. It's going to be Gillis Hummon in taking pole for the first race. Matt very close time behind in second. Necron, the one who's just absolutely come out of nowhere, both on the timings and in the league. And then Cuckoo in fourth place, one of their favourite positions so far this season. Eddie in fifth. Max in sixth. Oh.
With no sector times, mind you.
They're that quick. Wild Mammoth, also known as Wild Package, in seventh. Veilside in eighth. Richie Bugs in ninth. Escher in 10th. Ultimate K's in 11th. Trickster in 12th. Kunisek in 13th. Exevius in P14. HGM1 in P15. Exus in P16, Svi in P17, Jedlin in P18, Fennec in P19, Ellie in P20, and Treble at the back of the grid to round it off in P21.
Alright, so it does look like your game may be fixed. Let's keep our fingers crossed, as you have been given a hydrate penalty, Nismo.
Ah! Since we're waiting, I'm very much happy to show the viewers what I'm drinking. Not only am I drinking Red Bull today, but I'm drinking something that I thought was only a myth. It's mango Pepsi, which is yeah, I had no idea it existed until 1 a.m. No, not 1 a.m. 1 p.m. Today, and is it good? Yes. Is it overrated? At least from my opinion. Hashtag yes. Not, of course, not sponsored, but Pepsi. you know, if as long as you just give me free stuff, I'll happily take it. I'll happily take it. So, go remember to take a sip.
Now, Nismo, do remember that we do have some legal restrictions. Certain products we shouldn't promote, even if we do receive them for free. So, just letting our viewers know that as the people are getting their cars and setups ready for this race, it's not going to take too much longer.
Yeah, very much getting ready, and yeah, so Gillis showing up Matt's a bit today, but whether he'll be able to do it in the race, I hope he will, as we see 3 red lights, but they're not going to be going for the race as the formation lap is underway. And I must admit, I feel good about this session because there was no sinking symbol there, so that tells me that everyone has properly been able to connect, and hopefully we'll have some good racing. So
let's just hope they don't connect too much on track, though. I've got some money running on that.
Yeah, if I have a look at the predictions, if I can.
Gotta say, though, this has not been one of Treble's best qualifying performances.
Yeah, looking at the prediction, it's a 32% to 68%. 4 people voting on no, there isn't going to be a safety car. 2 people saying there is. So, pretty much double the amount of points on the side of no. And I mean, it's been proven that this league very much doesn't really have that many safety cars, especially in the an hour and a half of Bathurst. No safety car on top of 1 hour of Adelaide, no safety car. So maybe a different swooping track could cause it tonight. Either way.
Can you imagine if we had 1 safety car for every commentator's curse?
I don't want to imagine that. It'd be carnage.
That would definitely throw strategy right through the window. And one thing that I also noticed about this track is it's actually got a pretty ingenious system when it comes to braking markers, because you cannot destroy them unless you maybe cover them with tire marks, because they are in fact painted on the track.
That is extremely handy. I know Monza that everyone likes to take it, but it's going to be Gillis to take the field away and lead the field up. Matt's lined up next to him. When are they going to go? When is he going to go? He's gone already, defending from Matt. 2 wide goes Cuckoo and Necron. Necron losing to Cuckoo on the start. They're going a lot of 2 wide cars behind, but everyone seemed to make it through cleanly through turn 1. So we see Matt.
Oh, someone spun around.
Oh, there's
Massive
contact.
crash. That's going to be a safety car. We've cursed it already. Oh, what an impact. Someone definitely flew several meters into the sky there.
Yeah, and I'm going to very much... Well, I'm going to...
Safety car has been called.
Yeah, safety car is very much out on track and instantly carnage. I mean, I said I wasn't wrong that there wasn't any carnage through the first corner. But that second corner, not doing too good, I must admit. As,
Oh, now I have the weird camera angle.
Yeah, I've got a very far camera, so maybe when you have the weird camera angle, I have the far... Did you have a far camera angle? When
I think
it was...
last time that you couldn't see anything, I had a far one, and this time that you had a far one, I had the close bush one.
Okay, so maybe whenever it's the close bush one for you, it's the far one for me, and okay, very weird camera angles here in Automobilista. But yeah,
definitely not some of the worst problems we've had, thankfully. But yeah, people are going to be going into the pits now. Not entirely sure who was involved in that incident. I believe I did see a blue or purple car be one of the first to maybe spin around. So that could have been Svi, who's the first to come in.
Yeah, Svi.
And yeah, a lot of people just behind them getting collected in that incident.
Exus, I believe. I saw a Hooters car, and I think that looks to be...
a short pit stop.
Is that Ellie?
Ellie is in as well, yes. So we've currently got Svi, Exus, Failside, and Ellie in the pits. Svi only having a really short pit stop, though, so I'm not sure what exactly he did in there, but his car does seem to be fine.
I mean, maybe Svi thinking, well, either his pit strategy is wrong, which we know is a possibility in Automobilista, or maybe thinking, maybe I need to add a bit more fuel, or maybe potentially underfueled in his race strategy and thought I need to quickly top it up to make sure I can actually finish the rest of the race. Either possibilities are probably terrible, or maybe he just thought, stick a bit of new tires on. Get that.
In the meantime, we do have everyone out of the pit, so we're probably going to get going on this next lap. They've only got a couple of seconds to catch up, but it is a really short track, so chances are we should get going again. Yeah, Veilside, though, definitely the biggest loser from that first lap. I believe he did start in the top 10, and he is currently down in P20.
Yeah, a lot of people taking advantage from that, and I'm trying to look. I think I potentially might have a decent car. I think Wild Mammoth is...
Oh, yeah, that is an issue on your screen. He is currently in P5.
So, yeah, Wild Mammoth, it's everyone from P5 downwards is a lap, well, P4 downwards is a lap down. And
looks like we might not be going just yet. I think we're getting another lap. Or are we?
Oh.
No, they're off.
No, it's green flag racing. And already we're almost going too wide as I think Eddie poking his nose into the
really
inside
aggressive
of Necron and his teammate as well. Now trying to shove it through. Can he make it? It looks like he isn't able to, but too wide still again. Eddie and Necron. Can Necron hold it all the way around the outside? They're extremely close, and his teammate almost poking their nose down the inside, and Necron getting it all hairy on the outside line. Isn't able to hold on round the outside of Eddie.
And just look how close Max is now as well.
And that's Max pushing Wild Mammoth a bit wide there. Wild Mammoth not going to be too happy about that. Might try to look for a move through these next couple corners.
Oh, Max is already looking for another one. He's on the inside. He's taking it.
Necron leaving them in space. Necron not having the greatest of restarts, almost dropping 2 positions.
Look at Mammoth slipstreaming them both. He's going to go down the inside.
It looks like he's got a boost button. Oh no, and it's making it 3-1 and almost pushes Necron off.
Not going to be too happy about that, but they do all keep it going in the right direction, so the fight's not over yet. I think Necron's lost a position to 2 more people. That's Keza and Richie, both through.
Yeah, Necron has had an absolutely worse restart here on the safety car. I believe he was in
look at this
5th,
pack.
and he's already dropped 3, maybe 4 positions.
In the meantime, in the battle for the lead, Mats is still hanging on by half a second, but not currently posing too large a threat to Gillish in these first few laps. This fight is really, really intense, though. I wonder if Necron's going to be able to recover any of those positions, because he did seem really, really good on pace.
Yeah, in quali, he looked absolutely amazing. And I think he's got to now prove it in the race. Not getting the best of exits, but that slipstream is going to be all the way down this small straight. We see side by side with Kunisek and HDM1.
Oh, hold on, it looks like Mats has now gotten quite a bit closer to the lead again. That was 2/10 just now.
Maybe Mats is going to be trying to look for his quintuple win. No, I think his third win. Looking, Ultimate K is getting
kind of pushing K's wide.
And even losing now a space to Necron, but he's going to have the inside line going into this corner. Is Ultimate K is going to be able to defend? Can Necron make it all the way around the outside? It looks like Necron has, in fact, got the momentum and is able to run it all the way around the outside. What an amazing move there by Necron.
And this track is amazing for racing. I mean, just look at the entire grid. We still have everyone on the same half lap, and we're 5 laps in. That means no one's had a massive incident since the safety car.
Yeah, honestly, an incredible racetrack, extremely flowing. And very much, if anyone goes wide like Mammoth does when they're battling someone, it could just enable someone to just push it down the inside.
Absolutely, as it now looks like Trouble still fighting Ellie. They've gained some spots from the safety car incident.
There's a car off. There's a car off. I think that's, who is that?
Oh no, Eddie! It's Eddie again!
Oh, his car's upside down!
What? How has he done that?
That is going to put his race, unless there's another safety car, to an end. That is very unfortunate that we... Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate for Eddie that it happened, and unfortunate for us that we didn't catch that, because I don't think I've ever seen a car end up like that in a ditch on a track where I didn't even know they had a double ditch like that. So that is very interesting and unfortunate for him. I wonder if he just kind of lost it or if someone punted him off. Yeah, I mean, well, they'll probably... Mats has lost a lot of time to Gillis as well. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, I mean, with Eddie's incident, if there is one, then we will see a ticket about it later. But unfortunately, yeah, Eddie's race to an end. But this race here between these 3 drivers is not. Necron all the way back on Richie Bugs. Hold on, Jedlin is in this race. Jedlin is... Well, whoever's teammate is with Jedlin then, but yeah, incredibly close. The camera's messing up. Oh, and I think someone else has spun behind. I think that's HGM1. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna stick. HGM1's off, but this fight is absolutely nail biting, and it looks like Max has gotten away after Eddie. Well, he's still in the race, so I won't say he's passed away, but definitely no longer in that fight. Potentially maybe something happened with Max there because he has pulled away from this battle, but this is definitely something I want to keep our eyes on for now. I will say Ultimate K is doing a really good job gaining 5 positions so far as we almost hit the third way through the race, doing a great job. And so I'm not sure what's happening at the front right now, but Mats is once again within 2 or 3 tenths behind the leader, so this is a bit of a yo-yo game between these two. Yeah, even potentially Gillis going semi-defensive into that corner, and whether Gillis will lose his cool behind the current championship leader, as he does go wide there. I think taking maybe a wide line to be able to cut in. Mats though 3 tenths. Well, within 3 tenths now, going round this long left final corner. See if he can do anything on the main straight, because he's going to have a lot of slipstream, although he doesn't choose to make the most of it, it seems. I mean, maybe Matt's going for a bit more downforce. Yeah, I mean, I will say there is one thing about this track that I absolutely, every single time I've raced it, I always end up falling for it. And that's on the main straight, you can't go fully to the right, since there is a little parking spot there, and there is tarmac, but then there's just gravel. And if you go too wide, I mean, it's so easy to just get your tyre caught on gravel, and at that point it's turn left to go right all the way through that corner. Yeah, I also just want to mention,
Necron's been practically pushing Richie Bugs through every single corner so far this lap, so I kind of wish I would have used that bumper cam earlier. But yeah, these two are very close, and Necron is busy trying to recover those positions he lost in that fight earlier, but having a tough time doing it.
Yeah, Necron doing an incredible job making his way back up into that P5 position. We did see him in P8 earlier, but he's just been absolutely grinding his way through the field to get back up. Yeah, Kunisek now onto the back of, I think that was Trixer. Yeah, so it seems as if the battles now are being put in. I think that's Richie Bug a bit wide off. Is that going to let Necron by? I think Necron getting a bit close, but not actually able to take full advantage of Richie Bugs falling off the side of the road.
Yeah, Necron's going to be kicking himself for that, because if he had stayed... Oh, Aziz's been spun around! If he had stayed as... Oh, and there's another one off! That's K's! That's two people spinning in the same corner, unrelated incidents. But yeah, that just goes to show the harder you push, the more mistakes you can, in fact, make. But yeah, I was going to say, I think Necron would be kicking himself for that, not being able to gain a place there with that turn 1 incident, because if he'd been as close on that lap as he was the lap before, he would have definitely had an easy overtake. And now he's spun, and he's currently down in P10, one position behind Keza.
Yeah, and very much Ellie here looking for a move on Svi. Has the inside line. Can they get the momentum? Up the hill they go. Not able to do it, but will they look for a potential dive into this next corner? Big spat.
That would have been absolutely suicidal, and definitely having Svi covering that off too would have been an airplane crash if they'd gone for it.
I will say it is.
But he's gone wide though.
Ooh, it is weird to see the likes of Svi down in P13. Whether maybe this track isn't to as much of his liking compared to some of the others, as he does in fact go wide, and that does leave him compromised to Ellie. Ellie very much coming side by side of him, but he's going to have the exit on the outside of the corner. I think if he carries on doing mistakes like that, Ellie is going to be very much making the move very quickly.
Yeah, Ellie's doing a great job so far, coming from pretty much the back row of the grid up to P13, and I don't quite think everyone behind Ellie has... Oh, as that's another wide line for Svi.
The tires just not working with Svi tonight, and I think Ellie actually getting a better exit than they usually do, and has that inside line now. Will Svi try to commit around the outside? There's a bit of contact, and Svi are being pushed off the road a bit, but I think still side by side going up into this corner 2. Extremely close racing, and Svi able to defend it around the outside. Incredible defending there.
Yeah, I don't quite think that Ellie slowed down to let him go, but it was very, very tough. Oh, although that is a bit of light flashing from Ellie, so maybe not too impressed with what happened there, but well held for sure by Svi on the outside there. Not an easy thing to do when you've got two wheels on the grass. Just quickly gonna double check on our leaders though. Still about a 3/10 gap. We'll see if Mats can do anything in the slipstream, but probably not. It's gonna depend on a mistake for sure.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, that's with such a smooth track like this. There are no proper hard braking zones, except for going into the hairpin, and I wouldn't even call it a hairpin, to be fully honest, on this track.
Hold on. Ellie's already attacking Svi's teammate.
Where's this pace from Ellie has come out from nowhere, and Xavius going a bit wide just like their teammate has, and Ellie has just been on it, hitting apex to apex, able to push and find all of the speed that their car is able to get.
Maybe Ellie's done a Daniel Apton. They've hired a special esports driver to stand in for them this race, but they're going on the inside again.
And Ellie getting the exit, and I've got a bad camera, thank you. Ellie getting remarkable. Seems that like through midway through the corner, they're just able to hook up that car so much better than anyone else they've been fighting. As Mats gets quite close to the back of Gillis.
Yeah, that was 1/10 there, looking really dicey, switching up his lines. I think Gillish may be starting to struggle on those tires a bit.
Yeah, and well, we've seen the pure pace of Matt, so maybe he's been sandbagging a bit, keeping his tires in check, but so far Gillis still able to keep Matt in check.
Ooh, and Trouble has overtaken Svi for P14.
The and Matt team clearly not having the best performances for tonight, as Ellie pressuring Exevius. Can they look for a potential move? They always seem to get great exits, but whenever their outside is compromised, they're just not able to get side by side, as Matt could potentially get side by side extremely close to the back of Gillis.
Oh. If turn 1 was a hard braking zone, I think he would have definitely lunged it by now. And he's a patient driver. I think Matt's is really, really hungry for this position.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see how close that Matt's is going to get to the back. And whether Gillis is going to defend into this corner, he goes semi-defensive into this corner. And Matt's looking for that exit. Or you can see them trying to find grip on the rear, unable.
Ooh, hold on. I think Ellie's had an incident because they've been overtaken by Svi and Trouble now.
Unfortunate for Ellie. Yeah, even Exus, and I don't know who that is behind, but they glitched for me. So I think that could be like Eddie or...
it probably is Eddie. He is a full lap down though, so he is definitely not fighting these guys for any sort of position. Oh, that is, yeah, bad camera for you. Hold on. That is really difficult to take into account.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot of onboard shots this race.
Well, at least...
and that is Necron looking at an overtake on Ultimate Kaiser. So these two, pretty similar on pace, but pace-wise, they should definitely be higher up the grid. They are down here because of their earlier spin, so they still have 14 laps left to recover some of those positions. I'd say their best hopes are probably around about P5, P6 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that their pace is identical. They spun... Not only did they both spin in the same area, but they spun in the same area on the same lap.
Ooh, look, this is bold. This is bold. We have Eddie unlapping himself off of Ellie, and he was already looking to the inside of Svi as well, but decides to not go for it just yet, and that might make him have to let Ellie go through again, and it does.
Yeah, Eddie letting this big pack of cars go by. Unfortunately, his controller pace is not going to be...
I think there's not too much wrong with his controller pace. It's just he's gotten himself into such a massive fight, and if he interferes with this, he's going to be costing several people positions.
Yeah, exactly, and could potentially get a penalty. So he's not going to be able to unleash the full will of the pad.
Yeah, if he'd been able to get past Svi into turn 1 or 2, he would have gained a lot of time.
But Ellie's going to try through the last corner.
Oh, I mean, that's at least the 5th time that we've seen this exact same move.
That's got to be set up, and I think that's Exus as well, going side by side now. Ellie's exit compromised, but Exus is not as much. Ellie stuck on the outside, Exus on the inside. Can they get the momentum?
As well.
Can Exus get 2 moves in 1? Ellie still holding it around the outside. Exus properly pushing each other to the limits. They're side by side, as well as who's that behind? They're going for almost 3 wide.
Oh. And they're 2 by 2 going through the corner. I don't even know who else is involved in this fight, but it's a 5-car fight for position.
This is incredible. 2 by 2, just like Noah's Ark, as they head into the next corner. Still side by side by side. Incredible racing and I think that's Veilside now making the move down on Ellie. Ellie dropping down potentially to P7 to P16 if Veilside is able to pass them.
Oh, this is an absolutely amazing fight. I don't know who's going to get the better exit with this contact.
Just ahead, HDM1 trying to battle with Svi, but Svi not able to find enough road, but there's still 2 wide. This is incredible racing, and it feels like, oh no, Svi off again. Svi off the first corner. Oh no, that's going to be a dangerous rejoin.
Oh, he's almost put himself in the wall there, but barely kept it under control. That is him out of this fight for now, but if these guys keep at it at the same pace, he could rejoin this fight very, very soon. And it seems like Eddie may have retired from this race, probably not too happy that he couldn't participate in this incredible battle, but hopefully he'll be back for the next one.
Yeah, of course, there being another race too. But this battle between Veilside and HGM One with Svi out the way now. These two can probably focus, but Necron down the inside of Ultimate K's. Ultimate K's being shoved a bit wide as Necron completely misses the apex, but Ultimate K's still able to hang around the outside. Can they hang around the outside round into corner 2? I think they are actually able to, and they're going to get the momentum into the hairpin. Well, sort of hairpin, but can they defend? Necron looking for the move, but bad camera.
Yeah, I got a really good camera on that one, so it's unfortunate you couldn't see it. But yeah, that was K's breaking really, really late. And again, Necron practically pushing him through the corner. He's kind of making a habit out of this with multiple people now, but he's got to watch out.
Contact!
As he does make sure he doesn't gain an advantage there, but I'm sure K's will be quite wary after that contact.
Yeah, I mean, Necron...
he's pitting.
Oh, that maybe he did have contact with the wall after all.
Could be, and Veilside, though, still not giving up on that HGM1 position. And these guys have been losing loads of time. Trouble is almost 10 seconds up the road now from these guys.
Veilside clearly listening to a bit of Rick Astley, never going to give him... never going to give it up, wanting that P13 position. And, well, I mean, those curbs on the inside, you saw Veilside, he had to lift when he went over it, and that very much compromised his exit. But HGM1... the exit getting even more compromised as he touched a bit of grass on the outside, and Veilside getting extremely close. Oh, and touching the inside curb, as I mentioned. Don't want to be touching that. It's almost as deadly as the grass.
Oh, we've had a spinner. Necron has made a mistake. So that means he loses 2 positions to Fennec, and Escher barely stays ahead of Xevious, and he is out of the fight for that P8 position with Keza now. Meanwhile, Exus once again fighting it out with Ellie, not too far behind the Veilside HGM1 battle.
Yeah, Exus very much trying to stick to the back of Ellie. Ellie's race.
She's in the pits. Oh, and Exus is off the track as well. That is very unfortunate. Is he going to keep out of the advertising board? He is.
I don't think it was fully on Exus, I'll be honest. It looked like driver error on his half. But I think Ellie, in fact, broke a little early, and I think that spooked him a little bit, just like George Russell and Valtteri Bottas in the 2021 season.
No, he definitely outbraked himself, no question about it. And once again, these two for the lead. I mean, the gap has fluctuated a bit, but these guys have practically been within 0.3 of a second of each other for the past 22 laps.
I mean, that's what I mean about that one Oh, Mass's made a mistake! Okay, that counts. That counts. Yeah, that is a comment.
That is the most blatant curse I've had in a long time.
And does that mean Max is going to be able to be promoted to P2? Not only was he on the podium in P3, but he's going to be in front of Max on P2. And I wonder, can Kunisek get that momentum up the hill, potentially overtake Max as well? It looks like he's too far back.
That was extremely costly. I mean, if you think about the average time loss for a spin, I think that's got to be about 6 to 8 seconds. He's just lost 16 seconds. So, of course, you're not allowed to reset your car in this game, or in this league, if you're not trapped or whatever. So he had to manually get out of that situation, and he was stuck on a grassy hill, which is, as you've seen, one of the worst places that you can possibly be after a spin. It's cost him so much time.
Yeah, I mean, not only is it grass, but it's very much inclined, and that is definitely gonna, well, your tires are gonna become spinny as Veilside flashing his lights, giving a bit of warning to whatever car's in front of him, saying I might not be able to stop in time, but is able to keep that under control. And I've got to say,
HGM1 slowing down. I think he's admitting fault there.
That is great. You know, that is great sportsmanship. I've got to admit, slowing down. I mean, as much as he might not have got a penalty if he didn't, he might have got a penalty if he didn't. It's still great sportsmanship for a driver to admit, yeah, no, that was completely me. So honestly, great sportsmanship between the drivers there.
I'm thinking the flashing lights might have been to indicate that was not on as well. But yeah, definitely some good camaraderie there. Probably no steward's ticket, so less work for us in the coming week. And in the meantime, we have another battle going on between Trouble and Xevious. So Trouble's been working his way up the grid slowly, setting fairly decent midfield pace and catching Xevious.
Yeah, Trouble now all over the back of Xevious, wanting to
Well,
Does that count?
We're going to this fight.
I think that also counts as a curse.
That's a mini curse, but it definitely counts. I think that brings us to 3 curses on tonight alone, doesn't it?
It's been an absolutely remarkable evening. And Escher very much close to the back of Fennec. Fennec getting not as good as an exit, but is able to keep it from turn 1 danger.
There's another 3-way going on to the main straight. This is going to be really tight coming into sector 1.
Yeah, extremely. This turn 1 though, no place to make an overtake, but definitely one to make a mistake. As Trouble looks for the move into turn 2, and Richie almost piling into the back of them. Trouble making that move stick and count, but will they have to go defensive into the hairpin? They do. Xevious on the outside, but will this leave them both compromised?
Oh! No. Oh, he's kept it. Well, he's still kind of straddling that curb, and it's costing him lots of time and tires, I'm sure, but that is another position for Richie Bug, so recovering there. I want to say, though, Mats has lost a position to Kunisek.
Maybe his tire's a bit short, but he's looking for a move into turn 1 as they head side by side.
Is he going to try and hold it, or is he going to go for a switchback into turn 2?
It looks like he's
a switchback.
Kunisek deciding to stay behind the championship leader, and yeah, Matt trying to get back on his pace.
Meanwhile, these two still very close to each other, and I believe... Oh! Alright, he does survive for now. That's both of them going wide,
that counts,
actually.
As much as we didn't say anything, I'd say that counts as a curse. When you switch to him, he instantly made a mistake there.
I'll give you that one on the technicality. So that's 4 curses tonight, and we still have 4 laps to go in this race, so it is not over yet.
And don't forget the extra 30 later. But but yeah, no, yeah, watching this battle, Fennec and Escher coming through this final corner, lap 26, going to be making it 27. Can Escher get in that slipstream, get the better exit? Oh, almost loses their car. Fortunately, not able to fully utilize that final corner. Richie Bugs now also Fennec's teammate having a small little battle. Richie versus Trouble.
Yeah, these guys are kind of yo-yoing as well, so these gaps varying a bit. Try and switch it up between the two if possible. Oh, we've just lost someone. Not quite sure who. But I think Mats may have just been off the track for a second, or the timing glitch. But anyway, things are happening.
Yeah, indeed. And whether Fennec in his last 3 laps... Oh! Was that my Wi-Fi, or was that Fennec's Wi-Fi?
I'm not sure if Fennec's married, but I'm going to go ahead and go into this battle as... Oh, that's Xevious losing the back end. That car for that team is just not looking very stable, both on Xevious and Svi's end.
Yeah, I mean, I know these two definitely, when it comes to setup, talk, as I've just I've done it again. Stop saying Yeah. But yeah, Escher and Fennec.
As well as Trouble and Richie. Wait, something's happened to Necron again. Oh, he's missing a headlight.
Yeah, that is a very damaged front right car.
Oh, it's a little more mauled on your screen. It's slightly less bad on mine. But yeah, that car is not looking too healthy. And yeah, it's his first race over at MSR, if I'm not mistaken. And he's shown amazing pace, but definitely still has to work on that consistency, because he has gone from a podium contention fight all the way down to what is now P12 out of 17 remaining drivers.
I think the worst part about this is the fact that he's P11, which is points.
No, that's P12. Your game is glitched.
Sorry, P12, but it's the fact that he's now outside of the top 10, which oh my god, Richie. Barely keeping
close to that grass there.
But he's in the top 10 now, which no, outside the top 10 now, which means that for the reverse grid, he's not in fact gonna be reversed and is gonna be stuck in that P12 position. At least I think it's the top 10. He's not gonna in fact be reversed.
One of the many reasons why I prefer the old system.
I believe it's the top 10 at least, if I'm not mistaken.
It probably is.
But I mean, it could be the full grid. I can't remember. It's been so long since we've had a reverse grid race. I mean, the last race was Bathurst, which was a full 1.5 hour long race. And was just an insult to injury when the race before it was an hour long at Adelaide. Two both really complicated circuits. I think then it was Terminus de Rios. I'm not looking at anything right now, so I probably botched that. But yeah, Terminus de Rio Hondo. There we go. Remembered it. The actual full name of it. And I think that was two half-an-hour races. But I think was during the wet, so was probably just yeah. A very intense race though, as Richie Bugs still now on the back, gets a remarkable exit. Ooh. On Trouble. Trouble's probably going to have to defend this one, as they do. Richie Bugs trying around the outsides. We see Gillis win the race, but watching Richie Bugs try on the outside on the final lap. He's there. Can he do it? His car's ahead. Going into this next corner. Can he secure the move? It looks like he has. And is able to secure a P9. Is it P9?
And Matt's actually getting quite close to P3 there. So in the end, still really, really good pace. Trickster coming over the line in P6. Kaiser recovering to P7. Not his best race. Fennec stays ahead of Escher. So that was a very long fight that ended up.
Who's in P? Wait, P1's Gillis, P2's Max, P3's Matt's, right?
Well, we can figure that out after the race.
Okay, we'll work out. But yeah, honestly though, what an insane race this has been. A lot of the battles now.
Oh, what happened to Ellie?
Clearly
another sedan on track.
Oh.
Clearly, I mean, they might have finished. I'm not sure.
Yeah, clearly doing a weight distribution program there.
As Xevious coming home in what I believe to be P15. Ooh, just looking at fastest lap there as well. A lot of contenders, a lot of people in the 101s. Pretty much the entire top 11.
Have you got the final thing at the end where it shows the...
Yes, so I'll quickly give you guys a race rundown. We have Gillis, who has won tonight's race, followed by Max in an amazing P2. Wild Mammoth rounding out the podium positions. Matt's in P4. Kunishek down in P5. Trickster, P6. I believe you have the results now, so I'll finish off with Kaiser in 7, and you can keep on going.
Yeah. Oh, well, for me, it's Fennec in 7, but I'm gonna...
then I'll keep on going. No, it's gone now.
Well, I'm sure that we can check the race results when we see the reverse grid.
Now I see why you say it so fast sometimes.
Oh, wrong one. There we go.
I was wondering, like, wait, what is this this game we're playing again?
But yeah, so yeah, and
have you added all the curses yet?
No, I haven't. So that means we are, in fact, I knew we'd get double digits for this season. I didn't think we'd be getting into the 20s, which is well, yeah, we had +3.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just make that change.
No. We had 4 at least.
4. Oh, yeah. Was it? Yeah, no, it was 4. Yeah, of course.
At least 4, maybe even 5, but let's go with 4.
We'll go with 4 to be safe. Because I mean, it's already it's 21. Which is obviously the result of 9 + 10. May that meme or Vine, whatever, die in peace. No, honestly, what a race. What an incredible race. I mean, I knew this track...
Dare I say, best of the season so far.
I mean, I gotta say, this track, when I first had a look at it, I thought, it's at night. And also, I'm gonna quickly, before I forget, choose the outcome and put that there was, in fact, a safety car. So, for those who put no...
No!
It's so fun watching the pain.
I've lost 100 this money. I only have 26,600 left.
Quickly put the timer up for race 2, so I'll put that for 10.
Sorry, I actually meant 26,631.
But...
That's plenty of hydrates. Coming soon to a Nismo near you.
Oh god. No. I mean, I've got...
we've got another one.
Oh God! Wait, what do you mean another one? Oh no! Oh, I'm seeing them now. I know what you mean by another. No, car lover, stop! Car lover, no! I don't want to be drinking. I mean, drink. Okay, that's it. You know. How about this? How about this? You know how I mentioned the in fact, let me see if I can. God. Okay, car lover. I'm putting my.
Oh no! I've just lost another 300.
Oh, no, Martin, not you as well. Okay, you're supposed to be on my side. So, what I'm thinking is rather than me take 5 continuous sips, I take one big sip from the Pepsi. And when I mean big, I mean chug. Okay. I'm not gonna drink all of it because that'll be suicidal. And also, Pepsi makes me very gassy from the top side. So here goes.
Glad you clarified that.
See, this is why I don't understand why people drink sparkling water, because it hurts over a long time. See, at least with Pepsi or like Coke or Red Bull or something, it has flavor to it. But it tastes like static inside your actual your throat. It
has flavor. It's just awful. It's an awful flavor. I mean, you could argue that normal water doesn't have flavor, but whatever they put in sparkling water gives it some sort of absolutely atrocious flavor.
Why is it spicy? But no, it's just I don't understand. I'll be honest. I don't understand why people would put. Why would they make it sparkling? Why would they just leave water how it was?
Yeah, leave water alone.
Yeah, I mean, I get sometimes when there's like mineral water because it comes from a river or some shit. Yeah, it makes sense. It's from a river. You know, that's as basic as you can get water. Yeah, or flavored water. Yeah, it makes sense. Add a bit of flavor to something that's tasteless.
Salt water.
If I wanted to drink salt water, I'd go to the sea.
Exactly. You said it doesn't get much more basic than mineral water, but there's a lot more salt water in the world, you know.
Yeah. But we are now starting the session, so I'll quickly let these.
Come on, cowards! Vote for a safety car.
Well, I mean, the grid is going to be reversed, so the chances are quite a bit higher as we now head into the session. And 5 minutes, and for those who do not remember and are new to this season's format, so for race 2, oh my god, because I forgot as well, clearly, because it isn't actually a reverse grid. It's a one-shot qualifying, private qualifying, which means that no other cars are going to be seen on track, and only the cars that we can see. So right now, to everyone else, they're alone on track, and the times that we'll see are genuinely just them. Raw pace, no one can get in the way, no one to cause any lap time. So it is essentially going to be a one-shot qualifying, which is 2. Also, I'm not fake news. I'm not the one who wears the tinfoil hat. I'm kidding. No. But it's absolutely. You have to pin it as well. No, so we're gonna see if maybe some of these drivers in quali were able to set their lap, as we see Gillis properly torching those rear tires, trying to get all the grips. So clearly, the track extremely cold, and we're gonna be seeing drivers, I don't think, setting the quickest laps on this first lap. Even taking a wide line, and then he's properly torching his tires. He's trying to get all those grips in the rear.
And one thing I've noticed about his driving around this track as well, and this is from when I took a bit of a glance at his lap during practice, is that he likes to be in a low gear, rev the crap out of the engine, and then just kind of counter steer to keep the momentum going, although he does really control the throttle well where he needs to.
Yeah, I mean, Gillis, clearly, if there was another Tokyo Drift movie being made, he'd definitely be the one to audition for it with his driving style.
Oh, meanwhile, one of our staff members, Axis, has in fact broken the law and exceeded track limits. At least according to the in-game system, which who knows how reliable that is. It was buggy as hell in PC2.
And it's clearly, it's younger brother.
Ellie with a provisional pole.
Yeah, and 3 tenths behind is Necron. That could be just them coming out the pits. As we see Gillis.
That it is, as Mammoth now sits a 101.3. Not a bad effort at all.
Oh, and a trouble taking a 101.9, and Gillis in the 1 minute, getting 1 minute 1 minute 8 basically. And Necron as well, improving on his lap time, getting a 1:0. And Matt's 300ths of a second in front of Gillis on his lap. So whether he's going to be able to stay in front this time and reclaim a win. He's gone wide, and that's going to be his lap over.
Well, he's still got a chance though. There's a minute 56 left, and a lap time is pretty much a minute on the dot if you're fast around here.
Also, I've noticed, I'll be honest, so I know that maybe some drivers can't see the other cars, but I've noticed some shadows appearing on track.
Yes, I saw that as well.
I mean, obviously they're not ghosts but maybe this could affect some other driver. I don't. Oh yeah, no, there he is. You can see the shadows. There he is.
It's because of the headlights. That's a funny glitch. I like that one. That's a lot of grass. That's not going to help his exit.
Oh, but will his time improve anyways? As I think he's going to cross the line. He's probably going to, if he completes this lap and gets a 1:1 again, he could. Oh, he's gone wide.
He's gone wide again.
I mean, he's got to.
I'm going to go back to Gillis.
He's going to have to continue pushing though if he wants another lap. And Gillis as well is going to be one to try and push it all the way to reclaim.
I think he's only just exited the pits and he's barely got enough for in lap or out lap or whatever.
Gillis 7 tenths down his time, so I think he is very much going to be trying to go for his final lap.
I think that's someone driving inside of Matt's there. That's probably why the headlights weren't functioning properly. Look at how many people have set a 101.9. That is a lot of people.
Oh, Matt's
and that's
off.
Matt's in the wall.
That's going to be his qualifying over. And Gillis, though, coming around the final bend. Can he take that provisional pole away from Matt? Starting his lap now. And he's clearly got a ghost in front of him as he heads around the first bend with 10 seconds left on the time, and this is the final lap.
K is a P4. K is a P4. That is a much better result than last time.
Indeed. Oh, and Gillis properly sliding his rear out. That's going to affect his lap time massively on his quali lap coming into this corner, but he's actually up on his quali time. If he keeps his pace up, he is going to be up in this first place position. He needs to just nail these sector 2s and 3.
And then the reason why that slide was actually beneficial is because he was kind of drifting in the direction he had to go to. So whatever direction he was steering in, it was not against the direction that his car had to go. So that will gain you a little bit of time, but there's not a lot of corners where he can do that. And that could.
Oh, he's lost his time.
He's on a knife's edge.
He's going to have to make it up all in this last sector. He's got to make up at least over half a tenth. Can he do it? I don't know if he's got a good exit compared to Matt on that corner, but across the line.
That exit seemed pretty average, and in fact it was. So he stays P2 for now. Mammoth now coming over the line as well. Final car to qualify. Is he going to stay P6? Yes, he does.
Extremely close once again between the top group, between Matt and Gillis.
Oh, and hold on, I'll do the order because it's glitched for you again. So we've got Matt's on P1, Gillis P2. Necron in third once again. Veilside in P4. Great job from him. Same for Keza in P5. Wild Mammoth in P6, followed by Eddie, Fennec, Cuckoo, Trickster, Kunusek. Just scrolling down a bit here. We've got Trouble, Richie Bugs, Max in P14, Asher, Xevious, Svi. So these two really not doing great in the second qualifying either. Followed by HGM1 in P18, then Ellie, Jedlin, and Exus in last place.
Yeah, so I mean, this is very close to what last race's order was, and whether it's, I mean, Necron in the P3, his qualifying seems to be absolutely his qualifying seems to be absolutely on it, but his race pace doesn't seem to be, as I'm being ridiculed by Car Lover, that it's not HDMI 1. I mean, it looks like HDMI 1, but in fact it is HGM 1. Also, did I say, it looks like I'm completely botching some people's names tonight, but yeah, what an incredible qualifying. And now one person, I will admit, I am a bit confused by their pace, is in fact Max, who, if I'm not correct, please correct me if I'm not.
Oh yeah, wow.
Is in P14 in qualifying, and if I'm not mistaken, did they not come second in the race beforehand?
I believe they were definitely one of the front runners. I remember them setting pretty good pace in practice as well. And during the first few laps, Max was actually faster than Matt's. So for him to be in P14, he's got a lot of work to do. Yeah. Then again, Richie Bugs does as well because he's only one position up from him.
They seem to have traded places with the likes of Ultimate K's and Necron, who are in P3 and 5. Necron not having the greatest of races, and Ultimate K's able to make some positions up, but not as many as he probably wanted to, and had to settle for a position lower than he normally gets. But
now, what do you think is going to happen on lap 1 here? Because we've got Gillish behind Mats this time. Do you think Mats is just going to drive off, or is Gillish going to use that typical lap 1 pace and try and go for an early move?
Well, I mean, the leader, I think, always has that top end. I mean, we know the pace of Matt. He's able to just stick with some drivers like glue. And if you give him a free road ahead, 9 times out of 10, he will just become a bullet bill and just shoot off away from the group like it's no one's business. And I think Gillis lined up next to him is the best chance to make a move into, I wouldn't say the first corner, but maybe the second corner, and potentially look for a dive and force Mats to stay behind and potentially leave him into the clutches of Necron and Vilside if he can defend properly.
I mean, it's gonna be hard doing it into turn 2 because Mats is gonna be controlling the start, so Gillish probably not gonna get the best run on him. I'm expecting something more in either lap 2 or maybe the end of lap 1.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, it's gonna be very, very close. I mean, we've seen the driving in quali, in both the 15-minute quali and the 5-minute quali. Both drivers have been absolutely, I mean, the timings have probably been the closest we've seen them for a top qualifying battle so far this season. And I think,
yeah, it's been great for qualifying, great for racing, even for comebacks. I mean, we've seen people go up and down the grid tonight.
Yeah,
and great for safety cars too.
Yeah. And for stealing your points. But it's going to be Mats to lead the group away, heading to the starting zone. When is he going to try and leave this group for dust?
It's going to be a late start.
Extremely late start. And they're almost 4 wide behind. 3 wide into the first corner. Very, very close already. I think Matt's bunching up the pack massively there. They head into the second corner. Is there going to be carnage this lap? Like, everyone making it through turn 2 nicely though. But side by side are most of the drivers heading into the third corner. Probably.
Oh, that's a bad camera.
Thank you. Probably the sharpest angle point. Vilside defending from Ultimate K's. Ultimate K's looking for that P4 position, but he's got to watch out for, I don't know who that is behind. I think
that is Mammoth in P6.
And he's actually looked for the move there inside, but is now going to be stuck on the outside. Ultimate K's gets the pace. Having that outside line has given him the run. Now going to have the inside line. Mammoth going to try hold it. Mammoth, the ghosted car on the outside, going to try hold it on the outside. Unable to, and has to concede that P6 position, I'm going to guess.
Yes, that is entirely correct as we're going into turn 1 side by side again. Oh, that looked like a bit of contact.
Extremely close between
Cuckoo and Fennec.
Cuckoo and Fennec, extremely close for P7.
And it looks like all fights happening cleanly so far. No, Eddie's at the back again. He's had so many incidents lately.
Yeah, it is not Eddie's day, not one bit. And Matt's...
This is interesting, though. Matt's not quite pulling away in the same fashion that Gillish did in the previous race, where it was just him and Matt's kind of doing their own thing. They're kind of stringing the front runners out with them.
Yeah, oh, and that's a spun car. That looks like Richie Bugs. Richie Bugs dropping positions due to a spin and dropping to the back of this extremely massive pack. And essentially, out of the back, apart from Eddie, which of course had that unfortunate too wide, into the final corner goes Ellie and Exus. Ellie
loves that final corner, I'm telling you.
I mean, their car, it seems that their front grip is just like no other car so far this race, and they're just able to hook it up, break that extra bit later, and still get that mid-corner turn in. It's just remarkable how they might have set up this car tonight.
Also, I think Mammoth has just gotten past Ultimate Kaiser for P5, so that's a good move on him. Just missed the overtake, but he's still fighting it. Kaiser not giving up just yet.
Yeah, defending into that corner. Ultimate K is all up the rear bumper of the what is a ghosted car on our screen.
On your screen.
As they head into the 4th/5th corner.
Lots of action still going on here, though. I think that's an overtake by Trouble. Or maybe he's getting overtaken by Escher. I think he's tried to go for a move, and it's cost him a position. He's on the outside now. 2 people on his inside.
Ooh.
Oh, he's just shipping positions. Everyone, he's been forced wide. I definitely take that one to the stewards, because now he's lost at least... Oh, who is that facing the wrong way? It is Svi.
No, Svi.
Gonna have to be careful. There's people coming out of the final corner. So that puts him in P20 now. Only Eddie behind by a full minute. We've still got a good 3/4 of the grid practically all in the same fight. That is a horrible camera angle. Oh, and that is Nizmori still there?
Yep, still here.
As we've got some side-by-side door banging over there. I think that is between Kunisek and Xevious. Xevious coming out on top at the moment. Yeah,
this racing tonight has been absolutely insane. So close between some of these drivers, as it looks like Kunisek's made a mistake, and that's allowed Cuckoo to shove... No, not Escher, sorry. To shove their nose down the inside. Potentially going to be making a move. Do they leave each other space? Escher very much leaving the space to Kunisek, and they're going to have to run up the hill to potentially hang it even further round the outside. Can Kunisek hold it? They're still 2 wide going through this first corner, and extremely close.
Behind Ellie, almost making a move as well, but not quite getting it done. Meanwhile, these two, I think Escher's going to get it into this one.
Oh, he's still going to give space, but just cuts off Kunisek just a bit, and just behind, extremely close between Cuckoo and Ellie. Bad camera! No, come on.
Oh, that is...
They get worse and worse every time.
I can only see it after a few seconds when it appears on stream, because for me it looks fine.
Yeah, Cuckoo extremely close now to the back of Kunisek, who's lost a position. Funny enough, to Escher, Cuckoo's teammate, as they head round what is the 4th corner now into the... Wait, how many corners are there? 1, 2, 3.
I do not know, but one thing I do want to mention, though, is that Escher overtake, mightily impressive. I mean, just a single mistake from Kunisek.
Oh, and that's
just space for one nose.
That's a small mistake.
Whole thing got shoved right in.
By Cuckoo, and Ellie's going to be able to shove it down the inside, as you mentioned. Their teammate, that was 3 wide. Are they going to give each other space? Still 3 wide up into the 2nd corner. Are they able? And that's Richie Bugs. Where did he come from?
And there's another guy coming through. That's HGM1 taking plenty of opportunities there, and Ellie losing out in this multi-car fight. Just goes to show when you're fighting multiple people for one position, you could end up losing more than you bargained for.
Yeah, bad camera.
Oh, that is indeed a bad camera for you.
I love how it's giving you all... Today it's giving you all... I think I've got the good camera once this race. And it's giving... Every single time it's giving you the great flyover camera, the wow. And
pretty much.
Instead it's giving me bush camera. Which,
right now we've got bumper camera, as that is Ellie looking towards the inside, letting HGM1 know they're there.
Yeah, that's not a bush in front. That is HGM1 in that green livery, and we're even closer to it. as we head into the first corner. Ellie looking for that inside line. HM1 giving the space. And do they have the run? They're going side by side now into turn 2. Once again, the space being given, but HM1 able to move in front and take that faster, longer line.
Oh, hold on. There's stuff going on up ahead. That is Kunisek going wide and losing 2 positions.
Yeah, Richie on a absolute roll.
Just got past HG as well. Unfortunately, missed that one.
Oh, Richie Bugs now trying the move around Kunisek. Richie Bugs seems to be turned some sort of turbo kit on his car, because he's been absolutely flying through this battle, going through one to another to another. He's already up into P11 when he was, I think, P15 at one point this race, and has just been able to fly by.
Now look at the slipstream effect into turn 1 as well. Escher getting a pretty good run on Xevious, potentially eyeing up a move in turn 2.
And Richie Bugs is there, though. If they're not careful, Richie Bugs will be able to make a move. And Richie Bugs, funny enough, is going to look for a move going into the hairpin.
Yeah, that is definitely going to have cost him time, and he's still close enough to throw it up the inside. Side by side through that long hairpin.
Absolutely nails their braking zone there. I have to quickly mention that, because that was, you know, I thought they were going to go wide with how early Escher broke. But no. Oh my god. And as I said that, Richie Bugs making the move on Xevious, and absolutely, where has this pace come from, hey?
And Escher's follow through with an overtake on Kunisek as well. Now looking into the final corner for another one. These guys are just not sitting still.
Yeah, everyone, absolutely. I mean, it might be a night race, and this is very much as cinematic as it... No. Oh, who's that off? Oh, big impact into... Oh, no, car spinning!
That is Xevious with a very much just a sedan left, and Escher with so many amazing battles so far being sent straight to the back of the grid. Luckily, I think avoiding damage, but that cannot be said of Xevious. Now down in P19 with a shell of a car.
I do wonder, I mean, I didn't properly see that incident unfold, so I do wonder whether that was a 2 or 3 car incident. Either way, no safety car has been called, so it is still green flag racing.
Yeah, I think it was two separate minor incidents there, so no safety car being called for that one. Ellie still looking at the bumper of Cuckoo. We know not one of the easiest drivers to get by.
Yeah, just looking at the chat quickly, I think this is meant for Richie, because Karlov are saying, do we need to call the US government and report an alien? Because I mean...
Only if they have oil.
I mean, that's probably where all the... aliens in Area 51. I mean, Gillis, Matt's Gillis, and maybe even Richie now, you know, need to be sent back, obviously, because they're all from Area 51 with their alien pace. So far this...
In the meantime, though, Gillish has been kind of hovering around that 1 second mark behind Matt, so he's not letting go, but also not really being too dangerous so far. At least not to put a crazy amount of pressure on Mats. And it must be said as well, Necron within slipstream distance of both of these two, so if one of them spins, they could well lose their place on the podium, because Veilside is pretty darn close as well. And then you've got Mammoth a good 7 seconds behind him with Keza, so he's not been able to kind of shake him off either.
Yeah, K's almost touching grass there, and now Escher watching this battle unfold up ahead. I believe that is...
Svi and Jedlin. Jedlin pulling to the inside. He's not got the best top speed.
Oh, bit of contact!
Yeah, that might have been some gluing there, because I don't know why Svi would have turned in on him like that otherwise, but he's made it stick around the outside again, which is a pretty good move. But,
Jedlin trying to push it in the inside. Going for a dive there. Does that compromise his exit?
Look at how much speed the Escher's carried through that. Deciding to pick a different line, and Jedlin spun around. That's what happens when you take too much speed while rotating in a corner like that. Unfortunate for him, but with his pace, I don't think he'll be lonely for too much longer. Unfortunate, though. Now, back a little further up the grid, still plenty of people waiting for the other to make a mistake. A lot of people within spinning distance.
I mean,
not to jinx it.
From what I've seen so far, this track, it might be very nice and flowy, but it looks like it's so easy, especially if you touch those inside curbs, to easily spin that car. And I mean, this car, I think, having a locked diff, if I'm not mistaken. So
and I think, sorry to interrupt, I think Xevious might have some issues because he's pitting twice in the last few laps.
Ooh, hopefully that's... I mean, it could be for damage on the first one and maybe it just not being repaired. Or maybe a fueling bug. I think that's Ellie having a bit of a mistake, and that allows Trouble to make a move on them.
There's more. Oh, wow, there's a whole pack over here all of a sudden. This is Kunishek, Escher, and Svi fighting for P15 along with a lapped car, I believe. I think that might be Exus.
Yeah, in fact, yeah, that is Exus. Yeah, Svi having Escher behind. Escher very much looking for the move through this final corner. Big contact, in fact, as he's basically practically pushing him.
And why would he send it like that when he's got a whole straight to kind of try and slipstream him off of? That's a remarkable push into the final corner there as Eddie is back to the pits.
As, yeah, hitting almost the halfway mark now of the race. So it's still a good while left of this race. A whole 15 minutes, in fact, left of the race.
Oh, this is the bad cam. Hold on. And it looks like Gillish now starting to kind of lose touch with Matt, and that lack of slipstream is kind of pushing him into the clutches of Necron.
Yeah, indeed, as Necron goes a bit wide there, and I think that could potentially be maybe a bit of dirty air. But I mean, we spoke to some of the drivers earlier, and they said dirty air was practically nothing. But I think that could change their mind. Oh, it's Max!
Teammates clash in turn one.
Oh, that is very, very unfortunate to see two teammates clashing a bit, and I think I saw a bit of flashing lights from Trixer, but Ellie now onto the back of Trouble. Trouble making the move on Ellie. Ooh, Ellie, Ellie, chill the Wi-Fi. Chill the Wi-Fi. In fact,
that Trouble got by Ellie earlier when they were having some sort of fishtailing going on there. So Ellie's been behind him for a good minute or two, maybe. But still got the pace to hang on and keep that fight going, so we may well see more action there later. Kunishek and Escher both way too far down the grid, along with Svi. These guys either being victims of mistakes or making mistakes themselves has put them down way further than their pace would indicate they should be. And that's Svi off again.
I mean, it just doesn't look like his front tires have any grip over the course of this race.
Does that count as a commentator's curse, or is that just me being an oracle?
I mean, you know what? We've already dished out 4 today. What's another?
In the meantime, Kaiser getting ever closer to Mammoth for that P5 position.
I mean, they've got to watch out, though, because if they go for anything too oh my god, I was about to...
Veilside's off the track. He has lost a lot of positions. What is happening to his car? I thought he might have been out of the race, but he is still here, and his car looks fine, so that might have just been a spin.
I thought that was how far? I thought Fennec was close to the back of that pack. He is, right?
I don't know where Fennec was earlier, but I do know that
yeah, he is he is close to the back. What I was gonna say earlier is if Old McKay looks for anything too potentially bold, he could in fact maybe gain the position on Wild Mammoth, but lose it to Fennec, resulting in Fennec just able to get into that P4 or 5, because my timing's messed up.
Mammoth and Kays are currently fighting for P4. That was P5, but Veilside had that spin, which has... I mean, I said that Matt's spin cost him a lot of time last time. It was about 16 seconds. I believe Veilside has pretty much lost about the same amount of time in his spin. So he's down in P8 now with Trickster right behind, and he might try and overtake Max, but these guys are 5 seconds up the road. I'm not sure if he can make that gap.
As we see.
And look at all those wide lines that Mammoth is taking. Completely the opposite of Kaiser, but still Kaiser not being able to overtake him yet.
Kaiser's getting an amazing run, though, all in that slipstream. Mammoth going defensive.
Hold on, they're side by side on the main straight. This is Trickster and Richie Bugs for P9. Trickster has to concede in the end. Back to the other fight now.
Oh, too wide between Mammoth and Ultimate Kaiser. And even now, Fennec. Fennec is in this battle too. Extremely close so far.
Keep it clean so far. They're back to single file.
Yeah, on board with Fennec, watching Ultimate Kaiser ahead, trying to attack the back of Mammoth for this P4 position. No, he is not lap car. He is just very much, my game is glitched, so for some reason he's not appearing. But yeah, extremely close racing though, no matter what, as all three of these drivers head through this extremely long turn, and they're going to be looking to try and slipstream the hell out of each other.
Yeah, it's not the best exit for Fennec though, so he's going to have to wait for more opportunities. Potentially Mammoth going wide or Kaiser making a lunge. That almost sounded like Kaiser making lunch, but he might do that at other times of the day.
Yeah, I mean...
As it seems like Veilside is now going for a move on Max for P7.
Down the inside. They've kept it nice and clean and very, as you said, extremely close. But Max able to hold it around the outside, but he now switches to the inside, covering the inside of this Apex. Is really getting a bit loose, but still able to cover that inside line completely. Not able to allow Veilside to undercut him.
Yeah, he absolutely parked it on the Apex. That has to have been frustrating for Veilside because he had to go really slowly to not hit him.
Heading out of this corner. Can Veilside gain any more? He needs to get in and closer to the slipstream, going through this long left-hander. Oh, and that's Ultimate Kaiser's off where Matt went off originally.
Yeah, that does seem to be the same mistake Matt's made, but maybe a little more intense as he's going into the pits. That's his race done. A horrible end for Kaiser in his championship bid this season.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. As Veilside, though, his race is not over with Max as we watch him pass him down the inside of that long left hand and then defend the inside, almost losing the rear of the car, and it's extremely close now between Veilside, Richie Bugs, and Max. Richie Bugs has once again appeared in another fight and is once again giving us all the enjoyable entertainment we need, putting the pressure on Max. He's basically sniffing the back of that Dragon Ball Z car.
And I kind of feel like Richie's just been teleporting from fight to fight, which would definitely suit his personality.
I mean, the pace he's shown today, absolutely incredible. And he's going to use that pace to come side by side up the main straight past Max. And easily making that move through turn one, which is you rarely see. And as now he's going to have his eyes set onto the likes of Veilside ahead with 9 laps remaining.
In the meantime, Svi has done another pit stop. I guess in sympathy to Kaiser, didn't want to let Kaiser lose another position after that horrible crash. But who was that going slowly down the side of the track? Might have been Svi as well, but he has been lapped by now, so that's good that he's not interfering too much with the fights higher up. Fennec still trailing Mammoth, but not challenging too hard for now. Max also not dropping off too quickly from this fight, and Ellie in trouble. We've got a lot of people who are pretty much about 1 second away from each other right now.
Yeah, and whether those battles will hopefully get closer as the lap count does. And yeah, just Fennec, he seems to be able to... Oh, and that's a break! And as I think Mammoth made a mistake, and Fennec's now all over the back. In fact, lifts a bit going into this corner. Fennec wanting that P4 position. I mean, it says he's P4, but he's not. But yeah, wanting that P4 position from Mammoth, though, up ahead.
Yeah, just not really getting the best exit, so maybe also starting to suffer from tire wear a bit, as that should have been a decent opportunity to at least close the gap a bit more. But nothing doing there quite yet. Let's quickly check up on Cuckoo, getting pretty close to Trickster now. Caught him by less than a tenth on the previous lap, so these guys are really closely matched on pace.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, over these last couple races, the Super Saiyan team have been absolutely super on their pace. Kunisek, don't jump scare me like that, okay? Don't touch the grass. It's not real. It's ice.
It's not worth it.
But yeah, Kunisek very much onto the back of another green liveried car, and Fennec all over the back of the Team Deddy's car.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's kind of starting to converge at the same time, so I'm kind of having to hop from battle to battle here. That's Kunisek getting a much better exit than, I believe that's their teammate right ahead of them.
No, that isn't. Just two green liveried cars, and Kunisek wanting to be the better of the green, but being shoved out wide. That could be, I think that, who's that behind? I don't know who it is.
I don't think whoever that is on the same lap. No, that is Svi down in P17.
Yes.
Hold on, let's go on board with Svi.
Svi, what?
Or actually, no, hold on, that's Fennec looking for a move on Mammoth.
Down
Finally.
the inside.
Oh.
Do they give each other space? A bit of contact between the two drivers, but Fennec, he wants that move now. He was passively staying behind a bit earlier, but now he's wanting to make the moves as he looks round the outside.
Oh, he's not the only one. They're side by side on the main straight.
And wait, where's Escher come in this fight?
I don't know.
Oh, and who's that off? I think that, oh yeah, that's Kunisek off into the tire barriers in the background. Very unfortunate, but Escher seemed to have dropped a bit on the both pace and chart.
Also, oh, that's another person who just had a massive crash behind. Is that Svi? Yes, Svi has also upside down now. So he has, in fact, done an Eddie from race 1. Just to make sure people don't have a conniption about that interrupted Fennec fight. He is still in P5, so these two still going at it.
I mean, I know these Super V8s are Australian, but you don't have to play the part. And I think another very close fight as well. I don't know where that is on track, but they're coming through the final corner. I don't know where it is. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah.
It's
oh, it is
Escher.
Escher.
Escher trying to get HGM1 for P13.
They head into this first corner. 5 laps left remaining.
Oh, hold on. There's more side by side. This is Trickster v Cuckoo.
Oh!
No! Well, that was Trickster v Cuckoo.
Does that count?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is one spin and they lost so many positions. So even after 25 laps, that is still a very, very close pack in the midfield.
I mean, talking about close, it seems as if a lot of close battles have all of a sudden happened. It's got Escher, and just ahead of Escher, I believe, Trouble and Ellie as well, battling on the track.
As we've just lost Svi from this race.
Svi, don't worry, we caught your Australianness a second ago. But yeah, extremely close between these drivers, and I mean, so far there hasn't been a safety car. I'm jinxing it now. There hasn't been a safety car, even though the grid was very much a bit more jumbled than it normally is. Yeah, Escher all over the back, but someone who's also all over the back is, yeah, very much.
That's Richie Bugs trying to chase down Veilside for P6.
Yeah, and just behind them as well, Trouble and Ellie having a very close battle as well. It seems like all the drivers have got all close to each other in these couple.
There's only 4 laps left. If you want to go for a move, you better friggin' do it now.
As they head round the final corner, does Ellie get any sort of slipstream? Do they get any sort of move? It doesn't seem that they've got the run they want. as they almost touched the gravel, and that's trouble. He's got a bit wide, and that could leave them exposed to Ellie. Ellie able to take advantage of it. It's up to P9 or 10, probably 10, because I'm not seeing a couple of people.
That is Ellie in the top 10 now, so that'd be a pretty good result for them after all the suffering they've had to go through this season. So hats off to them if they can keep it on track for the next 3 laps. This fight, though, Veilside and Richie Bugs also not over yet. The other one, Escher and HGM, is closer than ever.
Yeah, extremely close. I think we're going to see...
How many curses? Oh, no.
I mean, you weren't wrong. They were close. So close, in fact, that they had contact going in. I'm not counting that one. That one's not... Well...
No, that is more of a curse than the last 2 we had. That is definitely going on the counter. Although I've lost count of how many we've had this race.
This race, we've had 3.
Are you sure it's only been 3?
Well, last race we had 4. And I'm saying 3. Better lower than higher. Because otherwise, this is going to be a hard record to beat, I'll be honest. But then again...
It's been an insane evening by any standard.
As we head on to... Well, we're now on the 28th lap. Veilside going a bit wide. That's going to allow Richie Bugs to close up even further to the back of them, as they made a mistake coming up into what was this corner here. Hopefully they won't make as much as a mistake as they did last lap, and is able to stay onto the back of Veilside. Veilside, though, seems to have that control, that corner a lot better than Richie, which is, I mean, very good driving by them. It just...
Also, I want to mention real quick, Trouble not letting go of Ellie just yet. Fennec still behind Mammoth, so that's still going on. And Necron also still within viewing distance of Gillish, but it seems like Gillish has started to approach Mats a little bit more on this last lap.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing very identical lap times, and they're only, I mean, they're 2 seconds separating, practically. But I don't think, unless Mats makes a mistake. Ooh. But Richie Bugs looking for a move.
Oh, he's got an opportunity.
Yeah,
is he going to get a better exit? Oh.
Veilside very much.
The thing is, with all the extra rotation you need to do in that corner, just almost impossible to get a better exit if you're on the inside.
And I think that also the battle ahead between Fennec and Wild Mammoth is also extremely
this is almost
close.
Turning into a 4-car fight for P4.
As we head round the final corner, and going to be across the line for the final lap of the race, and it could not be closer between P6 and, well, yeah, P6 and P7 and P4 and P5 heading round the first bend. Can Fennec look for anything this lap? He's going to be hoping that Mammoth makes any sort of mistake, and Richie Bugs is going to be hoping that Veilside makes a possible mistake as they get all up close to them, and is going to be maybe looking for a lunge into this corner. Up ahead, I think that is... Oh,
again.
That's allowed Richie to get up side by side on the exit of the corner.
And side by side ahead as well.
And I think Richie is ahead. If Mammoth makes any sort of mistake through this final corner, that could be Fennec through to get that P4 position as Matt crosses the line to win. But we're going to stick with this battle just for now. Heading round this final bend, can Fennec look for any potential exit speed round the corner? He can't, but he's very much getting closer across the line, and he just isn't able.
But there's still a 3-way fight all of a sudden for P8. I don't know where this one's come from. Max V, Trickster, and Ellie all very, very close into the final corner. Trouble not able to hold on to that one. Teammate
Escher and HDM1 quit. I think Escher and HDM1 extremely close.
Got him.
Come around this final corner. Escher has his nose up the inside, but can't do it as they're stable, and that's going to be them. Also across the line. What a final lap we've had. Insane battles between so many of these drivers tonight, and that's going to be them across the line. That's going to be the final battle. And my lungs need a break. I'm going to say that for certain. As well, what racing. I mean, I am absolutely dying inside right now from shouting, and I think my voice is going to be absolutely destroyed tomorrow. What an absolute race about it. It's been absolutely terrific tonight, and this level of racing we've had is absolutely insane. I think it's the only race where Matt's hasn't absolutely decimated, as well as Gillis common. Was in fact I think 2 seconds between them as they crossed the line.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna mention as well, the top 3 finished within, I mean, there was practically no action in the top 3 whatsoever, but they still finished within 3 seconds of each other, which is pretty insane. Neither of them made any sort of significant mistake, and they just pulled away from the rest of the field. I mean, you've got them, the first pack, and then pretty much 20 seconds further down the road, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more drivers, and then another 10 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, another 4 drivers. So it's everyone got separated in packs, and it was very competitive up and down the field.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, it's incredibly. Oh. Yeah.
So Gillish has said, kudos to super backmarker Keza, who finished a lap down this race.
Yeah, this race, I don't think I wouldn't miss it for anything. Unfortunately, next race I will be big sad.
No.
But yeah, no, incredible driving from all the drivers. If I go, as yeah, we are gonna hit the interview section and just. You're gonna have to. I mean, as
we haven't done a race rundown for round 2 yet, so I'm quickly gonna give that with the screenshot provided by Exus himself. For race 2, we had Mats coming across the line in first place, followed by Gillish, Necron with his first MSR podium, then Wild Mammoth in P4, followed by Fennec with another good consistent result, Richie Bugs and Veilside behind him, Trickster and Max, and Ellie rounding out the top 10. A great result for Ellie as well. Trouble in P11, not too bad too. Cuckoo not with the personal best by any stretch of the imagination down in P12. HGM1 in P13, followed by Escher, Kunisek, Keza a lap down, Eddie, Exus, and Xevious 2 laps down.
Yeah, honestly though, what incredible racing we've had today, and now we've got 2 people, both from the same team, and finding off both our final interviewees. So, do we want to bring both of them in at the same time? It's Cuckoo and Escher.
Why not?
Oh, hello.
Now, welcome, and I must say, Cuckoo, unfortunate retirement from you in race 1, and Escher, we saw a lot of action from you, but also that unfortunate spin.
Which one?
You guys? Yeah. Just so much happened tonight. Can you guys tell us the most interesting thing that happened in your races?
Oh, I blew my engine up in race 1 through.
Oh, wow. Was that from rear-ending someone and getting aero damage and then blowing it up?
No,
or?
I turned the radiator down for a last gasp shot at 3rd in qualifying.
And you forgot to switch it back?
I forgot to turn it back up.
Oh.
The podium.
I hit my arm during the races, and I'm still bleeding.
Oh! Is that a direct drive wheel, or is that something else?
No, triple monitors. I was sitting down, and I don't know. And
I think you need to sand the side of the monitors a bit if it's going to be cutting you like that. Wow.
Yeah.
Are the monitors okay?
Yeah, luckily, yeah. But I was driving under pain.
Oh my goodness. And... yeah, no, you drove pretty. I mean, despite the spins, you drove pretty darn well, even with a literal bleeding injury. Other than the physical injury, though, were there any particular battles you enjoyed?
Yes, in the first race with Mr. Consistent Fennec. I couldn't got past him. I think I was 9th or 8th in the end, I don't know.
Race 1, you indeed finished 9th behind Fennec by only less than 0.2 of a second.
And it was like 10 laps where I was directly behind him and I couldn't pass him.
Yeah, I believe we did catch a decent chunk of that on stream. When it comes to overtaking, which part of the track did you feel was best for that?
None.
Oh, okay. Is that just because the entire track was good for overtaking, or none of it?
None.
Really? Because we saw a lot of passes tonight.
The hairpin.
Yes, that's definitely one spot.
Okay. For me, it was like it was basically screaming internally all the time.
and then screaming outwardly after the cut.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I think for me it was just screaming the entire time. It was screaming, crying, hoping, screaming again, crying.
Well, Cookie, you've mentioned the engine blowing in race 1. How did race 2 go for you?
Started off pretty good, got a few positions, and then I ended up spinning behind K's, I think, and yeah, I ended up having a good battle with I think it's Trixer. I was right on them for ages, and then I bottled it. At the hairpin, I was going down the outside of them. I was much later on the brakes, and then I dropped it on throttle on the outside because I wasn't used to the grip out there, and just binned it.
Yeah, that's how a lot of incidents end up happening. You're forced onto a bit of an unfamiliar line, and the car can, especially in this game, be lost quite easily. Just heads up to you, Maxwell, in chat, if you want to be interviewed, we do have a ready for interview chat box in the Discord server, and then we'll pull you out of that when we're ready to bring you in. So, Cookie, you mentioned having that incident there. Did you have any particularly fun fights to kind of lighten things up a bit?
Just the one with Trixer really is the only notable thing. I mean, I had a good launch off of race 1, where I got past Cameron for 3rd place, and then obviously I fucked the engine.
How long did it take for the engine to pop on that one?
Well, because there was a safety car, it lasted a bit longer. But yeah, I was out by lap 4.
Oh, that is a massive downer.
I didn't get through lap 4.
How much practice did you put in? Because you did mention you had pretty good pace, at least for qualifying.
Yeah, that caught me by surprise a bit, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a bit shit around here, and then suddenly I'm 4th in qualifying. That was a bit of a surprise to me.
Yeah, we definitely saw some typical midfielders place quite high in qualifying, especially in the first session, and some regular front runners not quite doing as hot tonight.
Yeah, I did put in a decent amount of practice. Definitely not the most practice I've ever put in, though. I practiced more for Bathurst. But yeah, a little bit, and then more tonight. But yeah, not a crazy amount, which is why I was surprised, really, that I was so high up in that first half. Because that was quite unexpected, and then I made a silly mistake in qualifying for race 2, which put me a bit further back. I had a little snap on my first run, and then the tires just weren't as good since that. So,
well, now that you've learned a pretty valuable lesson from that experience, excuse me, can we see another epic defensive drive with your next qualifying result, you think?
I mean, I'm hoping so. I mean, I'm really annoyed with myself, actually, because obviously with Kay struggling, this was sort of the opportunity, really, to sort of cement a run at 3rd in the drivers, and then I've turned around and thrown it away immediately. So
yeah.
Definitely more on the blunder side tonight, rather than peaky.
Yeah, it's been a tough evening for the both of you. I mean, you obviously had that DNF in race 1, Kay's only finishing 7th. And then race 2, you did still beat him. He was 16th on the lap down, and you were up in P12. So.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah, so definitely a tough evening for the both of you. But Escher, I believe you finished 9th in the first one, and still 14th in the second. What kind of result were you aiming for tonight?
In the beginning of the first race, I was like, okay, this could be 5th, and I had the pace. But then I had a spin in the hairpin. I was just braking too late and then too hard, and then I spun. And in the second qualifying, I messed up the qualifying because I was still in pain, and I forgot to took off all the fuel from race 1, and I couldn't go to good.
Wait, so you drove the entire second half of the event tonight with a bleeding arm?
Yeah, it's a bit.
That is some dedication there.
It's still dedication to the cause.
Have you treated your arm yet, or are you still bleeding?
I'm licking it. Okay. And I was doing good in race 2, and then Svi caught the outside curb of turn 1, and this is deadly, and I was right behind him. If you hit it too hard, then you just spin. And then I had to brake, and I spun too, and this was just my race over. And yeah, I was almost last, and then I was back on 12th place, and then I spun again, and and then I was 13th or 14th, and something happened. But this is maybe something for Stuart, and I don't want to talk about it because I'm still a bit angry about that. But okay.
Yeah, we can definitely raise that in a ticket if possible. Just because we're gonna have to move on to the next person soon.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna ask you guys one final question for the next event. Are you guys gonna be doing anything differently to get a good result, or are you just gonna hope for the best? To get a.
I think probably my approach is going to be don't drive like a potato. That's definitely the plan, really. Don't drive like a potato, and don't set up the car as if you're driving in the Arctic. Is really the two things I would do differently.
That definitely seems like a good step forward. How about you, Asher?
I don't know. Just keep going. Lately I made too many mistakes, but also I'm getting faster and faster. So I think that this is just a natural progression in sim racing, probably. And yeah, I maybe tone down the speed a bit, get back to the consistency. It gets you more points in the end.
That is very true, although I cannot deny it has been very entertaining watching you guys fight it tooth and nail out on the track. But yeah, I wish you guys the best of luck for next week's event, and yeah, hopefully you guys can get some one-ups on Keza.
Yeah, hopefully a bit of a better showing next week. So yeah, fingers crossed.
All right, thanks for coming on, guys, and I'll have to pull in Necron because he has never been in an interview yet.
Yeah, no, this is definitely someone which I especially want to bring in because, I mean, on your debut as a reserve driver, getting P3, come on, that's something to talk about. So let's bring him in right now.
Necron, welcome to MSR and to the interview room. That was a pretty impressive qualifying performance in race 1. Good pace-wise as well, not quite the best result you were hoping for, I'm sure, but then you went ahead and fixed that in race 2 with a first podium as well, only 2.5 seconds off the lead. How are you feeling?
It was fun. Wait a second, can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I can hear you. Oh, well, has he just left the voice chat?
I'll bring him back in.
We can hear you loud and clear. Please do not leave. Can you hear us?
Might have something to do with my keybind for the mic. But anyway, yes, it was a fun track. It was a fun race. Just got a bit caught up in the second one.
Mm.
But the second one, yeah, it was fun. I just couldn't do anything to really gain anything on Mats or Gillis. It was just...
So, since the second race, you guys kind of just held position for the entire event. What was the most fun that you had in that race then?
The second race, that would just be my own personal battle of consistency, because there really wasn't too much in the way of racing, because we never really quite got anywhere close to each other. But it's the track is it's a very fast track with very little opportunity.
Yeah, we've been hearing that from several drivers now, which is pretty surprising considering the amount of overtakes we caught on stream. But yeah, it definitely seems tough, I suppose, if you're on equal footing with your opponents and they're not making enough mistakes. Were there any moments where maybe there was some sort of lap traffic and you thought that might slow the guys ahead down a bit?
A couple of times, but a lot of the lap traffic either sort of dove out of the way or didn't really contest a position.
Well, that is what we do like to hear, because that is how we keep the fight for the lead as organic as possible. Now, you had a pretty eventful race 1. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, just got slow off the start and slow off the restart. I think I fell down to 9th on the safety car, yeah. And then just from there, it was just sort of a uphill battle. But then I just got caught up behind Richie Bugs, trying to just... He just broke a little bit sooner. I broke a little bit later, and then the car went around at the hairpin, about right where I thought it was going to happen if I went around.
Well, I do want to mention you have received an apology from Richie Bugs in chat. He just said sorry and said you are the best driver in the world, the GOAT, and an extreme corn.
Yes, very extreme.
Uh,
So is that actually what the XNCRN stands for?
No, that stands for Necron 99. It's a character from a Ralph Bakshi film, Wizards.
Oh,
The,
okay.
the Red Assassin.
Don't let him tell you otherwise. All right, I'll take a mental note of that now. Since this is your first MSR event, if I'm not mistaken, and you are a reserve driver, how much practice did you get in, and when did you realize you'd be racing tonight?
Well, I started practicing Bathurst about 2 days ago because I was mistaken on which track it was.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so then it was only about last night with some laps, just trying to get a comfortable setup. It's very the car likes to move around a lot and either understeer or oversteer suddenly, but I think I got it pretty well down.
Yeah, I'd say with a P3, you've definitely got something to show for it. Now, when it comes to racing in this game, have you found that this is one of the more challenging cars, or is it kind of average on your scale?
It is definitely a challenging car. When it bites, it can bite hard. And the back end goes around. It just sort of keeps going around with that spool row end.
So if you do manage to secure a seat in a future season with maybe some slightly easier cars, do you think that you'll be up there challenging for title fights?
Maybe. I mean, Mondays aren't necessarily a very good day for me, especially in the morning.
Oh, are you from the States?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah, that
West
would
Coast.
explain the time difference. Yeah, unfortunate that it doesn't really fit your schedule much, because it was awesome to see you guys fighting it out on track, even though maybe race 2 was a bit less eventful. But the more people that we've got out there with pace to fight for that win, the better, of course. Do you think you're going to be joining any of the Tuesday events?
Tuesday? I don't know.
Yeah, because we have some regularly scheduled AMS2, slightly less serious races, and also some Assetto course stuff that's been started up recently.
Probably not, as that's... Is it like normal time as what happens here on Mondays?
I think it's around about the same hours, yeah.
Yeah, no. Pretty much it's always a scheduled workday for Tuesday.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm glad you're able to make it tonight, at least.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's always fun to have people that are faster than me.
Yeah, well, thank you for entertaining us massively. It's great watching you, especially in the first race, try filter your way back up to that those top positions. Yeah. I don't know if we'll see you in any further races. Hopefully we do, because I mean, if you're bringing this sort of battling on, if I was the top 2 and you've only had 1 day of practice, I would be absolutely terrified to see what your actual if you had a couple more days practice would be like.
Yeah. I mean, if I could make it in their space, I'd love to be able to join when it happens. They're fantastic, like, especially these cars. I love driving these cars. It's just, I like V8s in my vehicles.
And I do not think you are wrong at all when it comes to that opinion, but we're going to have to let you go tonight because we still got 2 more people to interview. So thanks for coming on. It was a pleasure having you, and hope to see you in a future event.
Yeah, see you around.
Have a good one. All right, now let's go ahead and bring in Wild Mammoth, because he has, in fact, finished on the podium in race 1.
Let's bring him in.
Mammoth once again on the podium, this time in race 1 and P4 in race 2. A lot of battling out there. How was it for you? Can you hear us?
My wrists haven't been worse ever.
Oh gosh. Is that are you the second person to have injured themselves during the race, or is that just tired?
No, it was just way too intense. I didn't expect such close racing, and I was so apparently everyone goes on hard tires, and I didn't get the memo because I skipped a couple of races, right? So I was like nursing the soft tires and struggling with them because I thought that's the way to go.
Well, was that in race 1?
In both of the races, because I had quite close people behind me, and I was like, yeah, freestyling it a bit. But yeah, it was a great race. And,
well, considering that you managed to get those amazing positions with soft tires, do you think you could have been even higher up with hards?
I haven't never tried hards on this car, so I have no idea.
Well, that has definitely put some perspective on those results there. I mean, you finished. Were you able to push the car at all during any of the race?
I mean, qualifying, I had quite good results, although I never managed to finish a lap properly. I had like purple sectors and I always messed up, which is a pity. But then during the race, I was kind of keeping a consistent pace as much as possible. And then after the first race, I realized I had a bit more tires left. So in the second one, I pushed more, and then I spun, and then I was nursing that rear overheated inferno through the whole race. So yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty wild. I think you might be on Matt's level when it comes to tire conservation, because he's done some very similar things in another league that I've been racing him in. But yeah, that is mightily impressive. For the next event, do you think you're gonna make that switch to the hards, or are you gonna stay with your
Yeah,
softs?
definitely. I want to try it out because everyone's like, "Oh my god, I use tires, soft tires." I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, does no one use soft tires?" But it makes sense. In quali, when you push, like literally in this track, you could have one proper lap after the warm-up lap, and the second one was barely, you already had understeer. So it kind of makes sense. So I really definitely have to try the hard tires.
Yeah, I think that is going to be a scary performance when you're finally put on the right piece of rubber. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Mammoth. That was a very insightful look into your race that ended with a P3 and a P4, massively consistent over both races. Just taking a look at your fastest lap as well, a 101.5 in the second and a 101.4 in the first. So yeah, incredibly consistent pace as well.
Yes, thank you.
I wonder, do you think, my final question for you tonight, do you think you're going to get a fastest lap at all during the season?
Oof. Maybe in Kilami, because I like that track. So could be if I decide to commit to some practicing.
All right, well, I definitely think that would spice up the race if you pump up your pace to that level, so...
But Matt's always pulls it out of a sleeve, like it's always just out of nowhere, so yeah. Very optimistic.
Oh, yeah, I think he barely pulled it out of race 2 with Necron only a couple hundredths behind, so that is incredibly close. But yeah, this track seemed to bring out the best in people's paces. I think in practice, at least, the whole top 10 was within 4/10 of each other, which was pretty insane and definitely showed on track as well. So if people have a lot of time on their hands, go rewatch the stream because it was a lot of action tonight. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, Mammoth, and yeah, good luck for the next one.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Have a good one. Now, Richie has been very active and patient, so let's go ahead and bring him in.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to bring it in next.
Richie, welcome. Now, aside from your very heartwarming support for Mr. Corn, I couldn't help but notice that you seem to be teleporting from fight to fight in these races. I don't think you had too many dull moments, did you?
No, it was pretty busy. It was great, and that's Extreme Corn, or sorry, Mr. Corn is his father. It's just Corn.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to make everybody think his name is Extreme Corn. So don't tell him if he says otherwise, it's a lie. It's Extreme Corn.
Gotcha. Well,
but
we'll trust you since you've been driving with us for longer.
But no, so yeah, race 1. I was in P4 and I got the strategies all kind of messed up. So I decided I was gonna pit and go hard soft, and hard would have gone the distance. Unfortunately, I only took enough fuel for about 2/3 of the race, and then the plan was to pit, and then in the time that I took, it takes to get tires, you can fuel and tire at the same time. So I was gonna fill up the rest of it then, and I saw on like lap, I don't even know what it was, like 18. I was like, well, this is gonna go poorly. So I put the softs on, and then at that point, I was just trying to make up as much ground as I could. But I mean, it was fun. I got to fight with a lot of drivers and whatnot, and slowly kind of make my way back up the pack. Race 2 though was very eventful. I started 12th, spun, because I locked up to try to avoid somebody. So I spun. I was down in last, and the rest of the race was just trying to pass groups. There was like gaggles of cars everywhere.
Yep. Yeah, we caught a lot of that on stream. It was hectic out there.
Yeah. So I managed to make some passes, but honestly, it is one of the worst tracks for passing. So it was just kind of deluge of dive bombs and trying to put the other driver off just to leave even half a car's width on that inside. Then you could kind of get away with a pass. Otherwise, if you're on even footing with that other driver, it's almost impossible to pass because you can just offset your car by half a car length inside, and you're not getting by. It's very, very difficult to pass here.
I'm honestly kind of shocked because I mean, by now you're the third driver to say that overtaking was practically impossible around here, and I feel like the tracks where you guys say that the most are the tracks where we get the best racing action. I mean, we had overtake after overtake after overtake, and battles that did last decently long, but usually not the entire race, aside maybe from the top 3 in race 2, which was not able to put any sort of move on the other. But yeah, do you think that on these kinds of tracks it's just depends on your opponent's mistakes, or is it all pace, or what?
That's basically if you could force the other driver into a bit of a whoopsie, then you were okay. That's in race 1. I had a race with Trouble, who I think is going to hop in here next. It was a great race. I had a little battle with him right at the end, and I managed to get him. What was it, on the last, like literally on the last lap, and that was only because he went a little too deep into one of the corners. That was it. So if the person doesn't make a mistake, and even if they're a second off pace, as long as they get on the throttle out of the corners at the correct time, you're basically, you're a moving roadblock at that point. In race 2, that's how I forced a lot of the overtakes, was just pile on the pressure, and then I would put my car into really strange positions to basically just put the other driver off. So I was way off the racing line, trying to make the other person think like, what is going on here? And then normally that gives you enough of a brain skip that they'll dive deep into the braking zone or whatever it is, and kind of give you that opportunity. So you have to pile on the pressure. But if that other driver just calms down and just kind of races their race, you're basically screwed.
So plenty of mind games at play. In other words, how close do you have to be to really put pressure on the other driver? Is it 2 tenths, 3, 4?
Well, even in the battle with Veilside, I could see that he was responding to certain things that I was doing, and vice versa, because I would kind of follow him into mistakes as well, because I was within a second, and at that point you're focused on that other driver. So for like 2-3 laps, I was basically mirroring him, which is really good to basically show like, hey, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay here. I'm on your bumper. But that also means that if the other person goes off, you have a higher chance of going off. Having said that, once I kind of backed off and settled down, cooled my tires down, and got some extra grip, then I was finally able to pass him, because he was still driving hard. Like I could see that he was on it. So I knew that it was just a matter of time. So I just kind of eased it back, lowered the heart rate a little bit, and just kind of focused on actually hitting my marks, hitting my apexes, getting on the power when I needed to be. And at that point, I kind of got into another rhythm. And when you get into a good rhythm, then you can make up positions and make up gaps. And so I closed the gap right up, and then same thing, forced him to basically brake late going into the hairpin, and he got out on the marbles, and I could feel his pain from my car as I was passing him, because I could hear him feathering the throttle, trying to get back onto the grip.
Oh,
I could hear him as I was passing by, and it's just, I could see that it wasn't happening, and I was on the inside of the corner, so I just managed to throttle it out, and I had the position.
Yeah, and considering how challenging it was to eventually get by him, do you think that was your most enjoyable fight out of all of them tonight?
The one with trouble was really good as well. That one I was on softs and I had overheated the tires, and basically it was just I'm not gonna back out. Yeah, back off. You back off. It was just who flinches first. But that battle with Veilside was like that was tough. I was sweating for sure.
Yeah, and considering that strategy had, do you think anyone else was kind of thinking about a one stop, or was it kind of like what kind of made you go for that pit stop in the end?
Honestly, just a lack of practice, because I hopped on, I don't know, like an hour, half an hour. It's I don't know. Necron. I was with Necron. I saw he was on. I saw he joined in. I saw his name as a reserve, and I was like, hey, cool, you're driving. You want to hop on some practice? So I've only been practicing for the past like I think it was an hour and a half before the actual quali. So yeah, I mean, I didn't really get much seat time. It's a tough track, but at least it's relatively flowing once you get your marks down. But yeah, I mean, it's just honestly lack of practice. Because when we were practicing, the track was hotter, so I was like, oh, dude, these tires are gonna go off. Like, there's no way. I hit the wall. Like, I fell off the cliff on like lap 21 when we were practicing. So I was like, yeah, no way. I'm gonna go hard to soft. And then again during the race, I noticed that the tire wear was much better. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but again, I managed to get into some fights, and race two was a lot better. Last two, essentially fifth or sixth, whatever it was. It was a good battle.
And
there was people out of order for me, so I don't even know where I finished, to be honest.
That actually does lead me to my next and final question for you: is considering the amount of fights you have when you have to claw back positions from the back of the grid, do you think in any future races you're going to purposely start from the back or purposely do a pit stop when everyone else does a no stop?
Potentially. I mean, I did that in the GT4 series kind of by mistake, because I showed up 2 minutes before the end of quali. So I was like, yep, I can't set a time. I didn't have a setup or anything, so I was like, let's see what happens. So I started last. I think I finished second or third or something like that. Or maybe I made it up to there and then I crashed anyway. So like I'm my own worst nightmare, I guess. So it is what it is.
Well, one thing's for sure, there was plenty of entertainment in those fights tonight, and I'm hoping to see plenty more of that in the remaining races this season. Nismo, do you have any more questions for Richie Bugs before we let him go?
No, apart from looking at the team, oh, if I can get it, there it is. Looking at the team standings, you're only about 29 points separating Harry, Hooters, Hubby's, Ultimate K's, and Exodus's team. And I mean, I don't think the points have been counted. Yeah, the points haven't been counted for this, and I think your team doing quite well in this race. So do you think you'll be able to battle them over these last these last two races?
Potentially. Well, the issue is we only had the one car today. We didn't have there was no other, Diener wasn't here. I'm not sure what happened there. I remember he told me like last week that he wasn't going to be here, and I vaguely remember it. So he said like, yeah, I messaged Kays, so we'll, he should find somebody, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's again, not really here for the points. Just kind of here for the entertainment and, just to be a kid and just be, hopping around in my seat when I make a pass. It's pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, making lots of them today, so definitely gonna be happy about that then at least. But
yeah, no, it was fun. It was a good day today.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably let you guys. I think we got our final interviewee waiting, but yeah, amazing watching you on track. Absolutely teleport between battle and battle, and yeah, hope to see you. Well, I don't think I will, but I hope to see you next week for round 6.
Yeah. Hopefully I can make it. Everything's been very, very busy lately, so but I should make it. We'll see.
All right, have a good one, Richie.
All right, take care, guys. See ya.
Now let's go ahead and bring in our final interviewee for the evening, the one and only Trouble. Trouble, welcome and thank you for your patience. What do you think of the fact that we've had 25 commentators curses this season?
I think you're doing a great job. I'm sure I've been cursed at some point. So,
oh yeah, we should start
carnage,
keeping
please.
tabs on who we've cursed in the
Oh my God,
season.
like
That's an idea for next season.
I'll do that.
An upgrade.
It's just like the F1 graphics we change every year.
Yeah.
Hold up, wait.
Indeed.
But yeah, so you finished P13 in race 1. You improved by 2 positions in the second race. Some pretty good battles with some pretty fast people. How do you feel?
Well, the surprised. Bearing in mind I started dead last in the first race.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Actually, did you actually set a lap, or did you just have no time?
I set a lap that was not good at all. I mean, it was it wasn't an out lap or anything, but I hadn't done any laps beforehand, so yeah, that was me figuring out stuff, and I still hadn't, hence being last. And with me being me, I did also qualify on full race fuel for the first race again. Nothing new though.
Traditions.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
I mean, we did catch you in fights with a number of people this evening. Can you tell us which one you may have enjoyed the most out of those?
Probably. I think it was Xevious in race 1. Because I was sort of catching up to him, and then it was a sort of back and forth one. It wasn't just like sitting in front and being put under pressure. It was actively chopping, changing positions, dive bombs, side by side, whatever, for a surprisingly long time. So that was probably the most fun one. But I had quite a few, as you said, so definitely a fun race.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of multi-car battles as well. How many of those do you think you were involved in?
I want to say 2.
Is that one in each race, or?
I think so. It's obviously it changes so often who's in what fights that it's a bit difficult to say, but it sort of felt like 2.
No, yeah, I mean it was hard to keep track of all the action tonight as well. There's been fights up and down the grid with these groups not quite breaking apart as they tend to do. So this, I mean, people said it was a horrible track for overtaking, but it was amazing for racing and for us watching at home. So yeah, that was extremely good fun on our part. You finished pretty close to Ellie in race 2. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a bit about how that fight developed?
I think it started when they were chasing. Can't remember who it was. They were chasing some people, got in a fight. I caught up, and then I can't remember if it was someone that spun, but it basically broke up the fight a bit. And I got ahead because I think Ellie made a mistake quite early on. Mm-hmm. And then a little later on, Cuckoo spun, or did a half spin, or something along those lines, and that packed us together again. So I was defending from Ellie for most of it. It's a bit of back and forth in the middle, and then right at the end in the last 3 laps, my front tire specifically just said, "Oh no, you don't. No turning for you." And despite me not doing anything different, they just didn't have as much grip. Like I definitely found the drop-off point just about in those last 3 laps.
Yeah, we had some other people saying that they had a drop-off point much earlier in their practice session, and that it was a bit better in the race. But yeah, with all that fighting you were doing.
Session, but I didn't do.
Yeah.
What practice session?
That is not in Treble's vocabulary.
Exactly. I mean, I do think the team name, because Fennec also didn't do any practice because he was having computer issues, could be changed to the racers who don't do practice. Because it's true. It would also ideally be a pirates who don't do anything parody, but I'm guessing most people wouldn't know the reference. So
I actually just saw a metal cover of that song just the other day, so that is a wild
the
coincidence.
Jonathan Young one.
Yes,
Yeah, it's good.
that went pretty dang hard.
I heard pirates, so we're talking about the Yaha Diggity Dee song.
No. It's the pirates that don't do anything from VeggieTales.
The what of the what?
Just Google it and listen to it afterwards.
Okay,
you think there might be
Jonathan
copyrighted?
Young metal version. That is hilarious.
I'll definitely give
Actually,
that a
I think
listen.
I think he made more recently a metal version of a different VeggieTales song that's also pretty good.
Oh,
So-
do you remember which one that was?
No, not off the top of my head. Actually, I can't remember if it was Jonathan Young or one of the other people that he sometimes does collaborations with.
Yeah, definitely send me a link to that if you can remember which one that was.
Yeah, well, I'll have a look after the interview.
Getting deep into VeggieTale lore on
Yeah,
MSR.
kind of a sidetrack. VeggieTales, last I checked, is not the race. That being said, I didn't really even come in to talk about the race. The things I actually did come to talk about, there's two of them. One is I feel like I've been scammed because you did a 12-minute stream before the main one, and that has broken my my Niz money streak. I want my Niz money back.
My
You
root.
gotta stop scamming me.
You can blame
and
my
the
router
other
on that
thing-
one
Mhm.
because I turned it off.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to talk about is so how was the Mango Pepsi Max, or just Pepsi? Don't know which it was.
You mean? Hold on. Actually, hold on. You mean this one? The one I
The-
haven't finished yet? Because it was a 2-liter one. You bought a 0.5-liter one, and I had to,
I didn't buy a 0.5-liter one.
Well, who did?
He stole it.
Yeah, you.
It was a colleague of ours. I didn't know it existed until this lunchtime.
A colleague. That's what they all say.
That being said, tomorrow, a new day, time to get Mango Pepsi.
Also,
It's-
Nismo, what is this travesty I see on your screen? You do not even have PC2 anymore?
I think I play that game? Only spent about 700 hours of my life on it. There's a new buster in town. Automobilista.
This town ain't big enough for the two of us.
For Automobilista.
You better have a
too.
showdown.
Oh.
We should have the soundboard enabled for this because I wanted to play a gunshot.
No,
that'd be good.
instantly banned off Twitch for.
Actually,
Yeah, Twitch.
some-
I didn't say the word gunshot. I actually meant fun shot.
exactly.
Fun, yeah.
Unrelated, but somehow it reminded me that in the first race, you two kept calling Xevious Fee
What?
when they were fighting with Ellie. It was so funny because for literally 4 or 5 laps, I was just listening to you guys saying that Ellie was fighting Svi when it was Xevious. Svi was right ahead of me. And you cut away for 1 lap, and then what you do is you're like, oh, Ellie's managed to catch up with Svi's teammate, who is just it didn't change at all. Literally, Ellie didn't overtake Svi, who was already ahead, because
Wait, are you sure he was ahead? I could swear he was behind.
No. Well, Svi was behind. Xevious was ahead. But you were saying that Ellie was attacking Svi. Svi, who was ahead of me and behind Ellie by a few seconds. And it was just great because you cut away for once, and then it just suddenly switches, and like, Ellie's pulled a magic trick and freaking teleported past Fee and up to Xevious.
Well, I'll admit
who
I
was there
was a
the
bit
entire time.
Nothing's changed.
It's like, I don't know how you didn't notice that there was another another of the same car just behind.
So Trouble, you're effectively saying that we fabricated some drama like Drive to Survive.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
That's
Drive
exactly
to
what I'm
Survive makes
saying, but
millions,
It
so
was kind of funny to listen to it mid-race.
Drive to Survive makes millions, you know. So I take that as a compliment. But also,
Yeah, but what you're doing is costing millions of Niz money. And by costing, I mean stealing mine. Thank you very much.
He
no.
spent millions on the bet.
Oh yeah, did you vote?
No.
Did you vote no for a safety car on the first one, by any chance?
I didn't vote this time because I ran out of time.
I voted no on the first one, but I got my money back on the second one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm laughing at everyone else, because
I will say I'm pretty sure I voted on like 3 or 4 of the things this season and been right at least half the time. So I don't know. I can't ruin my record at this point.
don't worry, your gambling will get to you. I'll win.
Well, that's the thing. I've not been gambling every time. Unlike somebody, it's I don't seem to be addicted.
Ooh.
Come on, Martin.
Hey, now I've actually won 99% of my bets. Roughly. I haven't actually calculated it.
Martin is going by the classic, like 99% of people stop before they win big. That's what Martin's going by.
Exactly. So keep voting on the options I'm not voting for, guys.
Oh, but yeah. Anyway, it is almost hitting 10 p.m. for us here. So, and for you, I'm guessing.
It's 11 over here.
What in
you
the
should be asleep
foreign? I'm kidding.
What's in the foreign? You mean like most of the grid?
Yeah. I mean, what in the very nice country? I'm kidding. No, yeah, but it is about to hit 10 p.m. for us, so I'm gonna be having to close off the stream now. So it's been great.
We're getting a request to raid someone.
Raid? Oh, who am I raiding? Who is there? Anyone? Give me a list, and I'm happy to send. Just not anyone. Hopefully,
the 8-bit drummer is alive right now.
Rain Dart. Okay, hold on. Let's have a look at this person. Before we.
Can you put their stream on stream?
I'm pretty sure. And they got set. They're too good for me. 74 of you. Oh, that's my lucky number. Maybe I do have to. Let's check who in the Automobilista is running around. I mean, here we go. Any Automobilistas? No, they all seem to be. You know what?
They're all playing PC too.
Let's if we are gonna raid someone, let's raid Roy. Roy's another Automobilista content person, which I have all the respect for. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna end the stream now. So it's been great commentating. What an intense race we've had, and I don't think it's gonna get any more intense than that. But we'll see over the course of the next 2 races. And yeah, until then, guys, it's been great commentating as always. And as much as I might not see you, it's debatable whether I might see you for the next one. Hopefully it'll be a great race, and hopefully we'll see you then. Have a good.
One last thing I was gonna say is I definitely think the amount of action seems to correlate with the number of commentators' curses we end up generating. So we'll have to stay in good form to keep the rest of the season as exciting as tonight. And with that, I'll wish everyone a good night.
And just before we go, I have I realized one thing. You know they were saying about veggie
Tales.
No, it turns out I was mistaken. I was thinking of the Veggie Rocks song "Stand" by Skillet.
Oh, so I've been listening to Skillet recently. He's good.
Have you been listening to their Veggie Rock song?
No. Uh,
Well, we all
Yeah.
know what Nismo's gonna be doing after the stream, but yeah, that is gonna be us for the
Yep.
night. Good night, everyone.
Alright. Yeah,
Bye.
good. Have a good night.